Hi everyone! Real quick before the ex-listener starts, I would like to say that I am really sorry. I meant for this to be out way sooner. I know that I'm kind of on break, but since this is, kind of a mini series, I really wanted to sort of wrap this up. My voice broke, frick. And by sorta, I mean this is a half finale. So, pretty much, you guys down below can go, oh hey, I like this. This was a good ending to this little mini series. Or you can go, oh my god, I want part 5. Can you make it please? Or, whatever you want to say with, those intentions. And I will pretty much go on the majority votes. So if all of you go, oh my gosh, you want part 5, or oh my gosh, that was a good finale to this little multi part X listener, then okay, I'll listen to you guys. But, anyway, on to the video.
It's been several months since you've last spoken, seen, or even heard of Nightmare, and you're starting to get worried. One day, you decide to take a walk to the forest near where you're currently staying, and you have time to think. You think about the last thing he said to you. Why did he tell you to leave? You mean, you know that he said he only hurted people, but you just wanted to help him, make sure that he was okay, and then all that happened. Not to mention all the strange occurrences that have been happening to you recently. Meeting interdimensional travelers, battling space whales and space lizards, and please don't even get me started on the Kree invasion. That was just all over the place. But you decide not to think about that. Instead, you walk deeper into the forest, in a place you haven't really been in before. It's much darker. The trees, leaves cast thick shadows and block most of the light. To your left, you see a small cave, and you decide to take a closer look, as you can see what looks like a glowing crystal inside. Then you realize that that isn't a crystal. It's some sort of liquid. It's glowing a dark blue, and upon looking closer still, you realize that it's a teardrop. There's only one being that could make teardrops of that color, or that could even have them glow. So, you decide to go deeper into the cave. You think to yourself, if it's really him, what would he be doing here? He sent you away, didn't he? Perhaps he was just worried about you. But you're cut away from your thoughts when you hear it. Soft sobbing from even deeper into the cave.
They acted like I was a person. I sent them away. Idiot. All of this shit. They were my friend. I sent them away like I hated them. Of course I did.
You step ever closer and end up hitting a rock with your foot, instantly alerting him of your presence.
Who? Oh. Shit, I didn't realize they'd come up here.
He seems quite speechless on what to say. You pull out your phone and turn on the flashlight, that app, and you can see him even more clearly now. It's Nightmare. The Nightmare you met. I'll get into the whole why it's a single nightmare thing at a later date. You step ever closer, and he seems to shy away from you a bit, as if nervous of what you'll do, but it's obvious that he knows who you are.
I.
he once again doesn't really seem to know what to say. So, you do what you believe might be best and kneel down and give him a hug. He doesn't seem to resist. In fact, he accepts the hug. He's a bit limp, trying his best not to cry his eye out, but inevitably failing. He just breaks down there in your arms. Despite you not really being affected by his aura, you can't help but feel even more sad than you would be. You try your best still to calm him down. You don't quite know what to think. He suddenly just pops up there. Why was he here? In this place? But you decide that that shouldn't be the first thing on your mind right now. It's obvious you're still distraught, but you can't help but let a question slip out.
Why I sent you away? I was scared. I was so scared. I didn't want you to get hurt. I knew you were trying to help, but I just pushed you away. Like I always do. I'm so sorry.
You let out a sigh and tilt his head slightly so he's looking up at your face.
You forgive me? I... Thank you, friend.
You're surprised to hear him say that so openly, but happy as well. You let him cry a bit more before asking him if he wishes to join you in where you're staying currently. Perhaps a hot cup of tea or something along those lines would help him feel a bit better.
I believe that would be nice.
After a bit of walking, you arrive at your current residence and begin to get the kettle boiling. He sits there slightly awkwardly in the chair, trying not to look around too much, obviously nervous.
So...
You turn to look at him.
I'd like to apologize again for my outburst last time we spoke.
You try your best to reassure him that he's done nothing wrong. You understand that he was emotional and tell him that you're happy he's here now, but you can't help but ask why he's here.
Oh, well, I was worried about you. I said I was worried about you. It's hard for me to sense you for some reason.
You hear the kettle is done boiling and begin pouring its hot contents into a cup, putting a tea bag in each and letting them soak for a bit. While you wait, you sit down in the chair, looking across from Nightmare, and talk. Nothing much. You simply talk with him about how he's feeling. He does cry a bit more, but only a few tears. And even after your tea is done, you talk throughout the hours, catching each other up on what's happened in the last couple months. Slowly your heart sinks and rises at his words. You realize how emotional he must have been. And right then you make a decision.
Stay with you. What do you mean? I suppose for a few days it would be nice. It may sound a bit strange hearing this from me, but thank you, friend.